Hi everyone, today I'm here to review The Invisible Man by H.G. Wells. I thought this book was amazing, to be honest. It came out in 1897, and I feel like for a book that came out in 1897, it was so original and so well written that I would definitely suggest it to literally anyone. Like, even if I guess it's science fiction, I suppose, because it's about a man who turns himself invisible and the consequences and what he does because of that. And so I guess that's kind of science fiction-y, but it's also just like a really good story about, like, I would kind of say humanity, because the guy who turns himself invisible, Griffin, what he decides to do when he is invisible is really fascinating, because basically he's like, hey, I can just steal from people and terrorize people and giggle about it and think that it's really funny, and isn't this just like a blast, at the beginning. But then he realizes that, and I think, well, he realizes what a lot of us wouldn't think about when we think about being invisible. So like when we're kids, we're like, yeah, it'd be great to be invisible, I could go steal cookies from the cookie jar or whatever. But he realizes that because no one can see him, they are going to step on his feet. They're going to accidentally push him over into oncoming traffic and things like this. And so we never think about that like, oh yeah, literally, when I'm invisible, no one else can see me, which is somewhat fun, could be fun, but also it's really dangerous. And in the book, he has to be completely nude to be able to be invisible. So if he puts clothes on, they don't just become invisible themselves as well. So he realizes that he has to run around nude, and it's freezing. It's January in the book. And so he has to find a way to get clothes to clothe himself, and also find some mask for his face and glasses to cover his eyes. And so I thought it was really well done and well written about how it probably wouldn't be that great to be invisible unless anything that touched you also became invisible. Like, if your clothes became invisible, or if you grabbed, like, I don't know, a piece of food, it would also become invisible or something like that. Because if you don't, yeah, you'd have to run around nude all the time, which in the summer and 90-degree weather would be fine, whatever. But also, no, like, it wouldn't be cool to be invisible. And so I actually loved that part of the book, because we always think it would be cool to be invisible. That being said, though, like, the man who becomes invisible, Griffin, like I said, he chooses to do not good things when he's invisible. So he steals from people, he kills some people, like, he's not a good person, and he could have chosen, to use his superpower for good instead of evil or whatever. Like, he could have fought crime, or, helped people as the Invisible Man somehow, but instead he's just selfish. He's just selfish, and that was really interesting, because it's kind of like anyone today. If they get a power, they can either be a benevolent person with it, or they can be a mean person with it. And so I thought H.G. Wells did a great job of describing that, and like I said, it came out in 1897. I'm so surprised, like, that it was that good, because to be honest, sometimes I think books that are older are boring. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I think a lot of classics are boring. I like a lot of classics too, but lots of them I'm just like, snooze. But The Invisible Man was good. It was original. It was fantastic. Yeah, I don't even think I have anything bad to say about it. I really, really like The Invisible Man by H.G. Wells, and how it shows, that people are selfish, and being invisible wouldn't be that great, unless, like I said, unless everything you touch could also become invisible. If it was just you, physical body invisible, that wouldn't be very much fun. But we all want to be invisible when we're kids at some point in time, right? So it was really well done. I would definitely suggest The Invisible Man by H.G. Wells 100, 1,000, bazillion%. I loved it. Read it. Okay, so obviously for today's question, it'll be, what would I do if I was invisible? Well, that depends. If I was invisible and it was just my physical self, I'd probably sit around at home when it was cold, because I get cold really easy, and I guess during the summer, I could go fight crime or do something cool like that, you know. If I was invisible and everything else I touched was invisible, I would be doing a lot more things. Definitely fighting crime. Today is March 14th. Happy Pi Day, everyone. But also, we all probably know about what's happening in Ukraine with the war there. If I was invisible and anything else I touched automatically became invisible, I'd probably go over there and help the Ukrainians. Because I'm invisible. What's Russia going to do about it? So, yeah, but if it was just me that became invisible, that wouldn't be fun. And I'd spend most of my time sitting at home being warm because I don't like being cold. So, that's what I would do if I was invisible. What would you do if you're invisible? If you could be invisible and everything you touched was invisible as well? Comment down below with what you would do. Also, like and subscribe because I post book reviews every Friday. And once again, read The Invisible Man by H.G. Wells because it's awesome. Thank you for listening and have a great day.